Hey, it's Kevin. Welcome back to the Road Warrior. I decided the other day it was time for a major change in my life. It wasn't something I took lightly. One of the biggest changes I've made in a long, long time. It's funny, they talk about life changes. Graduating, moving, marriage, divorce, all those life-changing things. And yes, I've been through all of them, and they are all stressful. They all weigh on you, whether it's marriage or divorce, whether it's graduation or job change, whether it's moving here, it doesn't matter, they're all stressful. And I almost want to add another one to that list because it was stressful for me. I changed password managers for all my online passwords. I had been using a service called LastPass for a bunch of years. I've been using the paid service, and then they made changes to it a few years ago. And I didn't like the changes they were making, and it wasn't working any easier. So I opted then not to pay them any more money, and I looked at changing at that time, and I was like, okay, I just haven't found one I like yet, but I'm going to stay with them for the time being. But they had a free option, so I dealt with the free option. And then recently they announced they were changing the free option, and well, you could use it between computers, but you couldn't use it on both computers and on mobile phones. So in essence, you either had to have two free accounts, or you had to pick. And I realized I wasn't paying them anything. It's a free service. But I also thought to myself, in all the time, the 3, 4, 5 years, I don't remember how long I paid for it, that I paid them money, they never updated it. It never really changed. The service never got any better. There was nothing easier about it. It served the purpose. It did its job, I think. And then when they made the change, it really upset me. It upset me more when I found out about it online through another source, not from them first. It wasn't that we all got the mass email on the same day, and then it hit the press. I heard about it through blog posts and through news stories online. And then like 2 weeks later, I got the email from them telling them, oh, you have to make a choice here on this date. So I finally decided to do some research and to make some changes and to change in my life. And the reason it's stressful is simple. You're used to doing everything the same way. The fact that I use a password manager and that other people don't, really, in all honesty, at this point, shocks me. When I went through and made the change, I realized I had 965 passwords I was managing, accounts online I was managing, most of which, and I still haven't gone through and made sure that each and every one of them has a unique password. Of course, I used the same 3 or 4 passwords on almost everything back in the day, and then when they were telling you and encouraging you to use other passwords, I did. For a lot of my social media accounts, I used the same password for a long time. 1 of 2 passwords. It was no big deal. I wasn't worried about getting hacked on social media. But then if that was on another account that I'd forgotten, it became... So I started going with unique passwords. And they're long passwords and a combination of numbers and letters and words and phrases and punctuation marks and all that kind of stuff. And, well, I had almost 1,000 passwords to manage. Now, it was easy to change password managers. Download a file, upload it to the new password manager, bada bing, bada boom. But then it was the learning curve of learning how to deal with this new password manager. And I'll be honest with you, having moved 20 plus times in my life, having been married twice, having, numerous fiancés before I got married. So, I've been through a lot of relationships. Having moved, having gone to school, having changed jobs, I've been through stress. And perhaps I stressed this a little bit more than what I should have. But I stressed it. So far, so good. I like my new pass manager. It's called Bitwarden. It's an online sourced password, meaning it's user sourced. Coders created it. And I know you got to trust them, but the same thing with anybody. Any computer program that's created by somebody, you got to trust that they're doing it the right way and they're not going to end up being harmed or having you harmed in the process. And so far, so good. It's not perfect. I found a couple where the fields didn't line up properly and the username didn't show up like it should have, but I've gotten through it all and it's been fine. So far, so good. But let me tell you, I felt some stress. Change is never easy. I'm not glad I did it, but I'm glad I did it. Does that make sense? Back next week, another Road Warrior. KevinMason.us, home to all those Road Warrior videos, all of these Road Warrior videos. All 440, I think it is now. Is that what this week is? 440? In fact, I could drive on 440. We got Interstate 440. Sorry, I'm digressing. Have them up on YouTube as well. All episodes on YouTube. I think I ended up loading all episodes, all previous episodes on Facebook because I didn't have them all there to start, but I think they're all up there now. Not that you're going to go back and watch episode 37 or episode 212, or maybe you will. If you really want to put yourself to sleep, it'd be a good way to do that. I'm rambling, I know. Back next week. See you. Thanks. Bye. Be safe.